Now, the summary or the essence of what we did in our last session, even I think it will benefit Anil, was that we said, hey, we are doing what? HR analytics. That is, we want to analyze data so that we can support the business outcomes, right? That's the essence, Why do we want to do analytics? We want to do analytics. That means we want to process our people drivers data so that we can support the business. Now, at an organizational level, the organization has a measuring tool. It is also called the management measuring tool. And I said it was, by Kaplan and Norton, which is called a scorecard, balanced scorecard with 4 perspectives. While traditionally the focus was only to financial aspect, but thereafter they realized that just by focusing on the outcomes, which are financials, as the market evolved from an what industrial era to the information era, where the focus was so much on intangible assets as well. They said, hey, we need to track the performance or measure the performance of the organization in all the 4 perspectives, right? So these 4 perspectives had what? Outcomes and drivers. So the financial aspect and the customer aspect were outcomes, and the processes, or I can call it as operations, and the intangible asset of what? The learning and growth, which is human capital, which is information capital, which is organization capital. They were the performance drivers. Now, what they said was, you cannot achieve the outcomes, business outcomes in terms of financials. An organization cannot get their financials, or it cannot be translated into revenue or profits, etc., unless and until the learning and growth perspective and the operations, which are actually the lead indicators or the performance drivers, drive that. So it works from the bottom. So this was a scorecard. So therefore, it is not something like a performance management setup. So in olden days, where you had goal setting done once in a year, at the end of the year, Anil, these were the goals, and have you achieved those goals? No. Then those goal setting, after you have done the KRAs, KPIs, etc., your manager or your boss is also tracking them, right? So that there is something called what? Managing your performance, so that at the end of the year, you're not caught by surprise saying that, hey, I'm not able to do, I'm not able to achieve my goals. So you are tracking. So what happens now? Having said that, at an organization level, now what we talked, and also there was a certain challenge in the in the group where Avinash was there, saying that how can then we construct a scorecard? Little challenge. Now, what am I trying to say? Simple. Now, let me put it very simply. This is the organization scorecard where the learning and growth is the bottom perspective, which is a lead indicator, which is the intangible asset of human capital, information capital, and organization capital, which includes skill, knowledge, etc. Information includes all the technology basis, and capital includes culture, leaderships, etc. Unless and until this driver supports the operation, it cannot translate into customer satisfaction or higher revenue, profit, etc. Now, having said that, how do you, all of you are HR people, now, how do you support the business outcome? You will support the business outcome only when you understand the business drivers. Will you agree with me? Will you agree with me? What are your key business drivers? Hey, what is that my organization wants to do? How does it want to differentiate? Is it into product development? Is it into customer delight, or is it into operational excellence? Because all your operational process will depend on the kind of value discipline, because that's how you want to differentiate and get competitive advantage. Having said that, as an HR, how are you going to support the business outcomes? Say, for example, I don't know how any you can identify yourself, your business, so everybody, business outcome. Okay, you can identify yourself with any business outcome. It could be revenue, it could be customer, increasing your market share, customers. Now, to achieve this business outcome, you as an HR, what is your HR outcome? Okay, okay. Begin with the end in mind. Begin with the end in mind. Now, to achieve this, what are my HR activities? What is the business outcome? So to achieve that, so you need not take everything where you are, in which role you are. Hey, what can I do? Say, for example, I am doing recruitment. Okay. So I want to reduce my recruitment costs, which will add to the business outcome. Won't it? If I reduce to the cost, won't it increase its profit, and won't it increase your productivity, right? Huh? So there is a what? Financial. So reducing. Simple. I'm just taking one simple. So what is our HR outcome for me? That means to do that, I have to have what? I have to hire good talent. No? I will use the same word again, recruit good talent. To do that, what will I do? I'll do all the processes of recruitment. Right. All recruitment process, which will be sourcing, selecting, screening, selecting, interviewing, everything, right? Huh? So can I call this as lead? Means I'm doing something. Lead. I'm doing something. Right. Which is resulting into some outcome. Lag. Right? Translating into the financial outcome. Okay, I'll give one more. My outcome is HR outcome. Employee satisfaction, right? The measure could be what? My employee satisfaction index should be higher than if it was, say, for 4 or 5, it should be definitely by a increase plus 2 units than last year. Okay. This is a lag indicator for you. For anybody, HRBP, what will you do? Lead indicator will be, you will conduct survey. You will do engagement activities, which will be the initiatives, right? You will do everything. These are the lead indicators to achieve this. You will keep tracking. You can't achieve this without lead. You can't achieve this without lead. Yeah.
Yes.
So by itself, it becomes, so if you notice, so it can start from here. Your HR strategic objective. Okay. This is HR. Now, it could be in the area of recruitment. If you are doing recruitment, it could be in the area of compensation. If you are in compensation, that is wage cost, reducing cost, benchmarking, etc., etc. Then it could be in the area of performance management. That means what? Increasing the competency level of people, right? Analyzing competencies, gaps, etc. Assessment centers. So strategic objective could be anything in the area of HR. Then, so in order to improve that, you have to work your own. This can become your what? Process. That means what are you doing to bring about efficiencies? Right? And when you bring about efficiency, customer, your internal customer, how happy is he? Right? And happy customers who are engaged will increase their so it will translate into what? Productivity, and hence revenue or profit will increase. Are you with me, guys?
Yes,
Huh?
absolutely.
Are you now understanding that there is a link? This is how you are linking the linkage of your HR with your business. If there is no linkage, then you are actually working like what? In silo, isolation. And what are you doing? Then you are caught up, sucked up in activity. What are you doing? I'm doing performance management. What are you doing? I'm doing compensation. Hey, but why are you doing? For whom are you doing? What kind of impact are you going to get? Right? What are you doing? Pulse meetings. What are you doing? Skip level meetings. But same back. Are you with me, guys? Now, very, very clear?
Yep.
Yes. Shushma, are you clear? So typically, when we look
Yes,
at
ma'am.
these things for so where do I get my what I should say that the how do I get to know what I need to do, the how should I be supporting the business? I get that through business drivers. Business drivers are not your job. You have to go to business and find out. If you are actually a business partner working with the business vertical, etc., you have to go and find out, right? And then you are supporting, aligning yourself, and then showing that, hey, I am what? Impact. Now, the importance of HR analytics is that I just because I've done an HR analytics course doesn't mean I go back and oh, I found a lot of data and I keep doing. No, you have to find out what is it called. Right? For all of us to build hypothesis. So what do I mean by hypothesis? For example, I think Avinash does most of the I'm assuming because it's discussions. He must be looking after. Avinash, are you looking after talent acquisition a lot, or in general even the other areas, right? Hmm?
Yes, ma'am. I'm looking after like mostly generally.
Okay, yeah, but even talent acquisition, that recruitment also forms a part of your function, right?
Yes, yes.
Huh. Say, for example, Avinash, I wanted to be on the ground. See, you've been working very hard, you have sourced from various channels and got your CVs, all right? Now, so you notice that the yield ratio, especially this ratio, which is it offers, huh? Offers to joining is poor. What is it? Offer to joining. Like, for example, you have actually said to your business that yes, I have actually given offers to 20 people, and a maximum 18 people will join. We can start the training program, and because they will plan everything that way, no, right? So 1 week of induction, and then functional training, and then on the floor. Now, what can you do? You can actually make a hypothesis, right? Hey, what if so you have to first, before even hypothesis, then you'll have to look at what are those 3 or 4 variables which impact, what is it, which impact joining. You tell me, what are those 3 or 4 which impact joining? Tell me. Huh?
I think
Anybody? Not.
so. I think one of the primary thing is strong brand
It could be
presence.
compensation.
A strong
It
brand
could be
presence as an
compensation.
employer.
No.
Compensation was the first place, but the strong presence as an employer brand
So I'm just
practices.
writing, I'm just putting. It
Yeah.
could be, right? Huh?
Yeah.
It
And
could be.
career succession, maybe career
See,
growth aspects. Yeah, there's
It could be,
something.
right? Huh?
Yeah, yes,
It could be, no?
in
Huh?
a negative way.
So
Yes.
what I need to do, I have to write 3 or 4 variables,
Mm.
and then say, hey, I can take a sample. No, people who have joined and people who have so you'll have to do some interviewing, people who have actually taken offers but have not joined in, accepted offers but not joined in, so that you can build a hypothesis, because validation is important. Just by saying it's not important. Are you with me? Just by saying, yeah, you have to validate. That is what we will also see today in lot of our data, how we can validate. Okay, are you with me, guys? Huh?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So let me just run you through. So this is that organization's balance scorecard where I have shown you very, very clearly. Okay. Raise your hand, and also seek clarification wherever you don't understand, because I don't want you to go back without. Okay. So this is something which I promised, I think, people in the second group, Shushma and even Avinash. This is another company called GTE, where this is this HR strategy map and the HR linkage model, where, all this HR's learning and growth, how, it is actually built up in terms of the operations, and then what is the impact to their customer, and then in the end, how does it aggregate and look at the financial perspective. Okay, I'm going to send this, and of course, when you get this deck, you will be able to see it. All right. Uh, just to reinforce lead indicators and lag indicators. Okay. Now I hope all of you are very, very clear that lead and lag. Every process will have a lead indicator and a lag indicator. Lag will be the outcome of that. Simple. What is it? When I talk about lead and lag, it's simple. You can actually imagine this way. I'm just wanting to bring a lot of clarity, saying that input. Okay. You can call it transformation. You can call it, process inside. Okay. And then output. Okay. So just reflect back. We will also show you all processes, whether it's recruitment, performance management, and even when you break down every process, small process will also have an input, process, and output. So the input will become the lead. Can I say lead is also like action? Huh?
Yes.
And output is the
Result, outcome, result,
outcome, result.
yeah.
Okay. Now, every process will have process metrics. Yes or no?
Yes.
Recruitment process will have process metrics, huh?
Absolutely.
Then it will also have outcome metrics.
Yes,
For
should be.
example, employee HR business partners, employee engagement. So process metric will be what? How many surveys, how many people have you covered, etc., etc. Outcome metric will be employee satisfaction index. Okay, and then there will be a what will be the business outcome for an employee engagement? Huh?
Maybe the team on a certain
Engaged
engaged employees.
engaged employees, which will translate again into, if you have 500 people in your workplace and all your 400 people are highly engaged people, it will translate into high product, right? That will be your business outcome. Yes or no? Is this very clear, guys? Okay. So now you are very clear about lead and lag. No? Okay. I want you all to pause for a minute. And so when you look at lead and lag, there is this called the cause and effect also in lead and lag. Lead is the causing and effect is the lag. Okay. So I want you to just pause here and think 2 minutes. Think what you're doing, what you're responsible for, and write what is your lead indicator and what is your lag indicator, and how does that translate into business outcome. Clear? Only 2 minutes, and then I will just ask one of you or two of you.
Yes, so maybe ma'am, just one activity.
This is an activity. I want to stop here, take a minute or two, and reflect on what you're doing. What is your role? You could be a HR business partner. You could be a compensation analyst. You could be an HR operation person. And if you think there are too many things, just focus on one or two things. Begin with the end in mind. Okay, you can say what is that I'm doing, resulting it into. So what activity I do? So that means HR outcome, HR activity, and then how is it translating into business outcome? Clear? It will give some clarity. Then you can take 1 or 2 minutes, and then I'm going to ask you. Yes, Avinash.
So, as a lead indicator, we would like to take an
I'll
example.
just write here so that tell me.
So we'll take as a lead indicator, training and development.
Okay. So will that be? Okay, I'm just writing. I'm not even saying anything. No comments. You're saying training and development. Okay.
And then in a process we can take they will
So
equip
what is
with
training and development?
training
You
and
are also doing.
development. We can
You are doing training and development.
yes. So for the
Okay.
training and
So is
development,
this a lag indicator or a lead indicator?
lead indicator, I said. The training and development would be a lead indicator.
Okay. All right.
In a process, they will get a training for any particular in which we wanted to get them equipped.
Okay. So I will say training. It could be
Training,
behavioral
training
training,
function we
functional
can discuss.
training. Hai na?
Yeah, training process we
It
can.
could be.
And
It could be training, functional, behavioral, etc. Okay.
And the lag indicator, they will be equipped and efficient to do any particular work efficiently.
So can I write here competency building?
Competency building means somewhere the person is still
Okay.
into
Or wait, not
still into
building,
process to
competent,
build.
making him
Competence.
competent.
competent enough to
Right?
result oriented, we can mention.
Competent means you are ensuring that these people are having the skills and the competences required to do the job, right?
Hmm.
Competent. Huh?
Hmm.
So obviously the business outcome will be they will produce better. Huh? So
That
yes,
impact to the delivery and the productivity will be increased.
absolutely. Your dot on and your understanding is also
So the
very clear.
ultimate goal
Yeah.
is to
One
improve the
more person I want to take.
efficiency
Avais
and
Khan. Avais, yeah.
Ma'am, I'm ready, ma'am.
I was just giving input that
1
it
second, Sushma.
ultimately
Yeah.
improves the overall efficiency and effectiveness.
Yes, Avais. So when we say efficiency, it relates more with what lead and lag, just looking at, process. And when we say effectiveness, so then it translates into what the business outcome. For example, a simple example. Again, I'm just number of training programs I have done. Okay. So I could have a lag indicator saying that I've completed so many training programs. All right. So that could be efficient. Efficient how? Within the cost, within the time period, cost, time, all right, and quality, content, everything is fine. But effectiveness will come when these people, like I have given quality training, Sigma, then
Hmm.
these people have gone back to the quality department, and what happened? They were able to perform their function, ensuring that the check was what? 100%, right? So that is effectiveness. So that is why we call efficiency and effectiveness, which translates into financial outcomes. Okay, good. Avais Khan, you want to give an example? Quick. What
Yes,
you
it
are
can
doing
be.
exactly? Huh?
Yeah, it can be. This is my role is basically of an HR business partner.
Okay.
So it involves a lot of functions like talent acquisition is there,
Yeah.
and staffing, bringing the right potential resources from the market, and
Okay.
then it comes to all the onboarding related activities, the learning and development
Okay.
part of the function, then performance management of the organization,
Okay.
then succession planning of the organization, workforce
Okay. So
analytics.
entire employee life cycle, right?
Yes,
Right
end
from
to end,
hiring a
beginning till end.
person
Yes.
to
Hmm.
exit, taking care of
Exactly.
the entire employee life cycle, and thereby ensuring that you're taking care of the right kind of hire, then ensuring that the right kind of induction and onboarding happens, right kind of performance gaps are filled in through training, etc. And ensuring that the high performers are also retained, right? So you'll have KPIs accordingly, which
Yes.
translate into better outcomes for the business. Okay.
Hmm.
Now, Shushma. Yeah, I'm all ready for you.
Yes, ma'am. So
Yeah.
my role is also as HR business partner.
Mhm.
I have taken a very small aspect of the role
Mhm.
and I've tried to put it as lead indicator, lag indicator, or and business outcome. So
Great.
if you see, one of the HR activities or which we do is the employee engagement surveys. So
Mm.
that I think is the lead indicator here, which is an
Yeah.
activity that we do,
Yeah.
right?
Surveys are lead indicators because it is action.
Yeah.
Mm.
So from there, one of the lag indicators that we get is decreased attrition or attrition decrease or reduction in attrition.
See, typically, employee engagement surveys, when you do, you are actually trying to understand the how engaged
No,
or
so
how
in the lead,
satisfied.
then along with employee engagement surveys, there will also be revamping of benefit structure, or then, revamping of HR program. So all of that will come as lead
Yeah.
indicators, right?
So you are giving one of them as okay.
Yeah, so when
Reducing
we do
attrition.
that,
Huh?
so when we do the surveys, when we do the revamping of structures, when we do benefit structure, when we do new policy launches, new HR programs, which all come as lead indicators, then the lag indicator will be reduced attrition.
So 1 second now. I'm just writing attrition, but I want to also talk about something now. Okay.
Yeah.
So you are looking at two variables: satisfaction survey index. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. ESAT score, and there is a lag attrition numbers. So you can say, hey, if there's a better ESAT score, then there will be less attrition. This is a hypothesis. You
Correct.
agree?
Yes,
Huh?
yes, it's a
But
hypothesis.
you don't know. You have to test, because there could be many other things for which attrition could be high or low.
Yeah.
But you are saying, I mean, for example, I'm hypothesizing, saying that, if my ESAT score is high, then my attrition can be also reduced. So then you can actually look at the data and then validate the data, compare the data, validate the data, and see if there is correlation, to see that yes, if the ESAT score is high, good, then my percentage of attrition actually reduces. Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Good. Fine.
So from
Okay,
there,
guys.
then the business outcome will come, which is
Obviously.
I have kind of put like a financial business outcome and an operational business outcome. So financially, the hiring costs will reduce because you have lesser number of people leaving the company. So there's no replacement hiring cost.
Because if you hire a person, if your recruiting costs are 4 times more when there is attrition.
Yeah. So that is a financial outcome where the revenue is increased.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The
Absolutely.
second one, which I
Absolutely.
have taken as operational, is because I'm again, this is an assumption that because of the employee satisfaction survey, when you improve the satisfaction survey, which you are also assuming that your employees are more satisfied, which will lead to
Engaged.
enhanced productivity.
So they are satisfied, and so therefore there will be an increase in productivity. Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
But
these
again,
are the business outcomes.
again, hypothesis. So
Yes.
again, what you could do, higher the ESI score. Would you like to then make a hypothesis and then do a check, validate on the data of performance and ESI? Are you
Yes.
with me?
Yes. Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
You can take ESI score and performance scores and see, hey, is there a correlation? Because then, just like a company which is called Best Buy, which says, if I increase 0.1% of engagement index, then I'm able to make 100,000 per month in every store, the revenue. I'm able to increase the revenue.
Okay.
Okay.
So we have data.
So once you validate, so Best Buy did a lot of analysis, and then they said, hey, if there is, so then they were able to predict. So if my ESAT score goes up that much higher, then even my operational revenue and my profits go up, and they could actually say how much will it go by. Okay, good, guys. So looks like everybody has now clarity, and that gap in understanding in the last session is now clear. You can just give me Devendra. Yes, Devendra, you want to say something? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. I have a question regarding this. So I understood about the concept of lead and lag indicators, cause and effect, and
Yes.
how things work. So just want to understand. So is it necessary or is it mandatory that all the processes will have lead and lag indicators like this, or are there anything with respect to HR specifically that might not have lead or lag indicators, or for some processes for which it is very difficult to get such lead or lag indicators?
You may, I will give you. You may think, hey, there are HR policies. Now, are they lead or lag or what, right? But you need to see on the ground, how are my HR policies being implemented, which only the HRBP will be able to tell me. When they do this ESAT survey, they'll be able to give feedback even on the policies. So responding to your question, Devendra, every activity will have action and end result, no? Are you clear?
Okay, understood.
Every action,
Now,
you tell me. Simple. So I'll say, for example, training. Okay. When I talk about in training, the training head is responsible for what? At a larger, at a lag indicator, and even at an organization level, to increase the human capital readiness of the organization. Yes or no?
yes, I agree. To
Huh?
improve the capability
Human
numbers or
capital
capability.
readiness. Huh?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
to do
yes.
that, what I will do, I will understand the gaps, and I will do what? It could be both in terms of learning, these kinds of programs, development, which will be on the job, professional development. So all kinds of training. So everything you do, action, verb is all lead. Okay? And
Right.
the outcome is lag. Having said that, I want to further clarify, for any action, for anything, the entire, again, in recruitment itself, all those small things at every stage will have a lead and lag. Simple. Say, for example, I want to again, in the entire recruitment process, from the requisition, then you're doing sourcing, right? That becomes a lead for what? To get your CVs. So lag is the CVs. So for everything, the input becomes the lead and the output becomes the lag. Now the output, which is lag, can also become the lead for the next subsequent process. Are you with me now? Even
Yes,
the
understood.
others. Huh? You understood? Okay. All right.
Right. For recruitment, I mean, especially for recruitment, it becomes easier or more, it becomes more possible to do this leader lag indicator because it is very measurable thing, right? So we can measure it
Everything
by,
is measurable.
pure numbers, pure
What
numbers.
does
So
not get measured does not get huh, done. Everything is measurable. Everything can be measured. Yes or no, Devendra? Huh?
right, right.
Okay. I'll just stop this. One second. Yeah. See, just to put in a broader term, we have just put, we'll be sharing this with you also, lag indicators and lead indicators. Okay. We'll keep going. Now, so having established the connect between the HR, how does HR support in terms of the culture, in terms of, I always call it the 4 C's, saying that culture, then competency, then compensation and human capital. So how does it support in these 4 areas? Having said that, then we get data from all these people drivers. So how do we quantify and how do we analyze? Okay. The first and the foremost we talked about when in the first session is that in the analytics continuum, the first is the first level 1, which is very basic. We can call it as, just reporting. Just reporting what happened. The complexity is very low. So typically, when you're here, what do you do? What kind of things do you do? Typically,
We put
you'll be
data as it
tracking,
happens.
right?
The
You'll
data
be
reflecting.
tracking.
Yeah.
You'll be tracking metrics, no? You'll be tracking metrics like this, cost or time, all the metrics, and then all the numbers, all the data when you get, then you can create a dashboard. It is also called operational metrics. So in level 1, which is typically operational metrics or reporting metrics. What do? We actually present it to our management saying that, hey, number of applications received, number of sources, what was the yield, how many did we hire, what was the time to fill, what was the age of applicants. So we typically create a dashboard like this. We can also kinds of dashboards. Okay, so there will be a session where there will be a lot of, session 5 will be all about, to create dashboards, etc. Visual presentations, how best you can do using line charts, using pie charts, bar charts, where do you use them, areas, scattergrams, all that. So this is typically a dashboard where you capture the data and you visually present it to your management. So here, what do you do exactly? Anybody? I'm sure Avinash also does this. Some dashboard he must be creating. I'm sure Shushma also does. What do you show? What do you track data as is? Vis-a-vis sometimes, hey, this was the attrition rate supposed to be. This is what it is. No, so you just show it. So here we don't compare anything. We are not comparing any data here or two variables. We are just presenting the data through certain charts or diagrams. Okay. So let us actually look at some of the metrics in some of the areas where we are collecting data. Culture. I talked about C for culture. Is culture very important in organizations? Yes. In fact, organizations culture, employer branding, the pull effect is dependent on the culture of the organization. Like, for example, ask any of you or you who would not like to join Google. They'll say, hey, we want to join Google. Why? The culture is great culture, because there's work-life balance. They give you a lot of leave. So, then you also get what sabbaticals. Then you can take your pets. So then you have great you don't have to carry your food, pack and take it. You get good food there to eat. So there are a lot of things which the youngsters like. Apart from that, I can actually spend 30% of my time in doing my own project, which helps me to be innovative, creative. Okay, so culture is very important in an organization. Now, so we are not going to speak so much on culture, but how do we measure culture? So there are certain metrics. Like, for example, you can to certain extent, you can measure culture by the satisfaction score, because even in employee engagement surveys, there are certain questions about culture. Have all of you, do you all do ESAT scores, ESAT surveys in your organization? Yeah, a great place to work. I'm sure all of you will be doing the ESAT surveys, right? Avinash, yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So the development program penetration rate, so there is also a metric, and how does it get computed? Number of development, program participants who have attended it, divided by the head count and multiplied by 100, you get a percentage of it. Okay. What are the metrics for engagement? That means how engaged are your employees. So it can be done by dedication, collaboration, recognition, initiative, volunteerism. Ask all the HRBP guys, R&R rewards, right? Shushma was just telling me that she is taking care of the HRBP. Even Awais Khan was telling me HRBP. So all of them do this recognition, man of the month, or best team member, and then they recognize and best team member who has been collaborating, etc. and etc. Okay. How do you measure branding? Talent attraction. That means Are you a, how will you know talent that your organization attracts good amount of talent? What is an indicator? All of you are doing talent acquisition, I'm sure. What is an indicator which gives you some kind of an understanding as to, hey, yes, I'm able to actually, track talent. What is a good indicator? Devendra?
Number of joinees.
Huh?
Number of joinees out of overall opening.
I think a
Number
typical
of
thing will
joinees,
be
yes.
when
Number
we
of
post,
joinees, absolutely, absolutely.
when
Number
we
of
post some
joinees
kind
will
of
also be, bol.
hot vacancies
If
and the number of applications which
Anuradha or
Okay.
somebody, please,
Yes,
please
Manu, wait.
keep on mute. Yeah. Also, you can find out if your positions are vacant for a long time. Why are you not able to fill the positions? That is also a good indicator. Agreed? Huh?
Yes.
Your internal hire rate, IJPs, your external hire rates. So all these are indicators of talent attraction, or for that matter, whether you as an employer are able to attract talent. Okay? Very important, guys, this measure. Recruitment and selection, very important. That day we just went through. So cost, a very important cost. Then salary cost, yield ratio, time for filling, quality of hire. All these are important metrics as regards recruitment and selection. Like for example, if your yield ratio of number of people screened and sent for interview, but after that what happens, then number selected after the interview process is very poor, then you need to really look into, hey, these have been screened and also shortlisted for interview, but why is that they have not been offered? So you need to check, is it because my internal recruiters are not able to actually screen and shortlist the right kind of candidates, right? They're not able to understand the job description. So there are many things you need to check, many variables there. Any other? How do you get to know? Have you actually experienced a situation where you have screened and shortlisted, but the yield ratio after that, after the interview, the selection process, the business or the hiring managers are not able to hire them. And many a times, I have done a lot of these interviews. Many a times, hiring managers tell me that, they are not able to get the right candidate. They are not able to screen the right candidate. They are not able to shortlist the right candidates. Have you heard this? These reasons being given by the hiring managers? So you need to check the yield ratios and see, was the understanding right? Were they able to, understand and then shortlist, screen and shortlist rightly? So that's very important. Okay. Then, yeah, we'll be talking about human capital readiness. That means what? Any idea? Are you familiar with this? For the common metric, human capital readiness. Anybody? Avinash, Devendra, or Anil?
No, ma'am.
No, not really.
I'm
Yes,
not.
ma'am.
Not,
I think this
not
is
heard.
Really?
the
Okay.
readiness. I
Okay.
think one of the mode of staffing, which I understood, ma'am, is building the team within. I mean, keeping your bench strength ready for the projects coming in. Of course, it comes when you have some kind of business planning in place. You know this kind of skill or this position shall be required in future. So you try to develop a bench strength for higher positions. So people who are trained and can be promoted to greater skill level, greater responsibility levels. This, I believe, is your human capital readiness.
Yeah, this is a very important metric in every organization, and definitely, I think all of you also need to be cognizant of the fact that, in fact, this was, I mean, there was a big article by Norton and Kaplan again. When we talk about balanced scorecard strategy map, do you recall in the last learning and growth perspective, human capital, information capital, and organization capital? Now, now they said, hey, so how do we determine that this bottom line perspective, which is an intangible asset, human capital, is supporting the business? Okay, so we were so the other two I'm not talking about. I'm only talking about this human capital readiness index. So they mentioned that first of all, this is a measure of what? That means it's a measure of the current strategic positions, the current competencies uh, uh, in the strategic positions as required by what is present. Okay, this index looks at what? The current competencies of employees in the department as opposed to the total competencies required by the department. But in essence, when I say human capital readiness, it actually talks about all the strategic positions. It does not take into account all the functions. No, it takes into consideration all the core strategic positions. So when I say strategic positions, what is the kind of understanding you all have? Everybody can see this. So this is called a human capital readiness scorecard index. And this is essentially for the HR VP or an HR head to present it to the management. Okay. When we talk about this human capital readiness model, we are only talking about the key positions, strategic positions. Now, when I say strategic position, need not be just the top management. Okay, they are cutting across all levels. They are cutting across all levels. Like, for example, depending on the value discipline of the organization, depending on the strategy of the organization. Say, for example, Walmart, it will have a procurement manager is very, very critical for him, right? Supply chain. Huh? Okay. Or, for example, for Starbucks, their frontline customer service executives are very, very key for them. Okay. Likewise, can you tell me any other strategic positions, guys? In a technology company, what? All those software people, the IT skills, the coders, right? Who will innovate. Huh? So whatever drives business, and in a hotel industry, all the frontline people, the chefs, they're all key strategic people without which you really can't run business. So what does it say? It says, say, for example, here, we'll just take this here. So in this organization, what are the strategic processes? Operational management, key strategic processes, customer management, innovation, and regulatory and social. So this scorecard actually pertains to a bank. Okay. So they have taken operation, customer, innovation, and so on. Now they said their strategic positions are quality manager, call center representatives, certified financial planners, telemarketers, consumer marketers, JVs, community recruiters, etc. All these are strategic positions. So when we talk about a scorecard, first of all, what do we do? Select the job families and their positions who are all strategic. Got it? That is the step one. Now, step two. Step two is identify the competencies of all these positions. I hope all of you understand by in an organization, every position will have a competency map. Yes or no? Please. I mean, you all understand, no? Every organization, they will have typically a competency map. What is a competency map for a position? That means it identifies the key competencies at certain levels, which are called bars. Bars are what? Behaviorally anchored rating scales, wherein you have to be at a level 2, level 3 for all those competencies in order to be fully competent to perform in that role. You understand this competency map? Just give me a thumbs up, guys. Anybody? Yeah, just give me a thumbs up on this competency map. Great. Okay. So step one, what is step one? Identify all the positions in those strategic job families. Step two, then identify the key competencies for those positions. For example, I'll take this is easy to understand. So I'm taking call center, strategic position. Yes. Okay. Now, what are the key competencies they require? Competency profile. Anybody, can you tell me so that I know you all are awake? Huh? Anybody? What is the competency profile or the competencies required for this call?
Getting
Huh?
a good listener and should be able to
No,
explain
it's
things.
written there already, no? According to them,
Acha,
customer
this
interaction
interaction.
center. So I will actually call it as say, so this customer interaction center, I will put it as, for example, customer, I mean, they have to be certified as per a standard of that customer information center, where
Development
it
center.
could be in 4 levels. Say, for example, it is in 4 levels. So this, he has to be at level 3. Okay. 3, customer interaction and certified as standard. Then problem management system. Again, some kind of a certification is there where this person has to be certified and in that competencies with a level 3. Okay. Team building, behavioral, again, you are done skill assessment, behavioral assessment, etc. He has to be at a level 4. Okay. Now, how many numbers are required? 20 people are required with this level 3, level 3, level 4. Okay. For this strategic family of call center representatives. All right. But how many are ready? How many are ready?
90% you're saying.
Only 90%. That translates into how much? That means
18 people.
15 people are ready.
18.
When
18,
I say
18.
15,
It should be
huh?
18, I think.
How many?
18,
90%.
How many?
18.
Huh? 18, no?
18,
Yeah, I
18,
thought
1
it
8,
was.
18.
Ah. Yeah. 1 8. Okay, because it says 90%. Okay. What does it mean? 18 people are ready. That means 18 people are there who have this, competency profile with a level 3 in customer interaction, level 3 in problem management, level 4 in team building. This is what is required as per the certified standards, and this many people are there. Okay. So therefore, how many more people for it to be? So I need 2 more people, to ensure that they are 100%. So right now, this is only 90% readiness. But for example, I have actually, think about it, I have here, I'll take another position. Okay. Say, for example, here, one second. Okay. I'm looking at quality manager. How many are required? Quality manager with a competency profile of 6 Sigma and problem management system. How many are required?
30.
30. And it says 100%. But I'm saying I have 35 people. Is it possible to have 35 people?
To have in readiness, yes, it is possible. Readiness can be more than we require.
Say, for example, it is not, so here it is just 100%, but I'm saying, hey, I have actually 35 people. That means in readiness, it could be 120%.
120%. Yeah.
Huh? That means I have actually tried to create a talent pipeline.
Talent pool.
Talent pipeline, not pool, pipeline.
Okay.
By ensuring there was succession planning and ensuring that, I have trained my people, ensured career growth, career paths, so that I'm able to then down the line people to bring them up to quality manager who ready. When I say readiness, that means they have Six Sigma, they have problem management system at particular levels, which is a certified standard. So I have readiness. So I'm keeping a buffer. Okay. So therefore, you can be readiness more than 100% as well. But definitely, then you need to work at wherever there is red, like 40%, no, 50%, all the red, 20%. Now, when you add up everything, what is the average? So that means how do you do? How do you get this average of 65%, guys? Quick. We are doing our analytics. So how do you get 65%? 100 plus 90 plus 40 plus 50 plus 20 plus 70 plus 80 divided by 1, 2,
1, 2,
3,
3,
4, 5,
5,
6,
6, 7.
7. Got it?
Yep.
That's how you'll get the overall. So this is the index. Overall human capital readiness is 65%, which means you are under red. So this is not sufficient. So you have to go further down saying, hey, where am I actually red? Which are those job strategic families which are really in red and I need to work up? Because this is a very critical area. And in today's times, and especially if you want to be very competitive, ensure that, you are doing better than competitors. You have to understand which are your strategic job families and strategic positions, and constantly have a human capital readiness. Why? Because competition is so much that, there are always your competitors who are eyeing for your good talent. Because, how do you get your competitive advantage? It is through your intangible assets. That is developing your human capital by increasing the skills, competencies, etc. And having the right kind of technology platforms, etc. And creating that right organization culture of what team building or maybe
Ma'am,
leadership or
I have a question here, ma'am.
Yes.
So this all looks ideal, and yes, absolutely should be done in our interest. But then there is a practical issue that comes up. If there is a second and third level of readiness which is available in pipeline, but not every time the positions are up for the taking, and it so happens that other organizations are continuously, hunting for the talent. So when they get that position outside, and they don't want to wait to be promoted within the organization, they'll move out. So the moment you're creating a pipeline, that's good, but will they be waiting for that opportunity when it actually comes or arrives in this organization? Hold them till that time. I know it's a retention issue, but we, prepare them, we
Let me
train
tell
them,
you,
but then
very
hold them till
hypothetical.
such time, it is very difficult to hold them, because if they are ready, they are available to be promoted, they will be promoted elsewhere.
Mind you, I want to tell you, when you're talking about strategic positions, they are not just top management leadership positions. They are all into operational. They are those which bring about efficiency and
No,
effectiveness.
I'm
They are
talking about
those
that only,
process
ma'am.
centric.
I'm
Okay.
talking about
Yeah.
that only, ma'am. Yeah.
That one. And unless and until you have a continuous, see, there is something called a buy and build model, right? Okay. Now, when your top persons are now, okay, say for example, your quality managers have been there, because just responding to us that, ma'am, we have built a talent pipeline, but I'm not able to put them on, promote them, that is that career planning and succession planning, what we do. Now, we're not able to, because that the top position, which is a quality manager, if we only require 30 and none of them is attriting, right? But you also need to understand there is something called what I should say, wage cost. Now, the number of years the person is there in that position, unless and until he is getting promoted into higher, his productivity will remain the same, but his wage cost will go up. That means your employee cost to revenue will become high. I don't know whether you are able to get that connect, because I will be doing that as well. Are you getting me?
Understood, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am. Irrespective of the higher position offered, year on year, the appraisal has to happen, the cost has to, it
Yeah.
increases.
So now what organizations do? When you are finding people, you will definitely find for them higher opportunities for higher growth, or opportunities to lateral movement. No?
Yep, yep.
So what you stated, I mean, you have to look at various ways of going about.
So the horizontal career progression, maybe if not promoted to next position.
So
the
I
horizontal-
can't have, because for the simple reason, as per the compensation, I'm in a particular salary grade. Got it?
Got it.
Huh? Now I have moved from that grade which has a minimum and a maximum. That means a range, no? So every
Yes.
year I get certain increment and I keep moving. I come to the midpoint and then I come almost to the end of the maximum. Then after that, what happens? I do not get an increment. I only get performance bonus. So I'm also demotivated. Does it happen in organization or no?
It happens.
Huh? So how many years? So there are very good people, you will keep them for 1 year, 2 years, because then you are identifying certain position where he can be sent, right? Or he can be promoted. Because when he gets promoted, then again he starts getting increment.
Yeah.
Okay? All right.
Okay.
So when we come to compensation and all, I'll definitely talk about some of those things which we need to. Okay? Go to the sheet which I sent.
So I can.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. See, actually, I have sent two sheets, one with the key and one without the key. I would actually prefer to you all to use the database and just now forget about predictive analytics. Please don't do that at all. Okay. And I only want you to look at this operation analytics, which is all about just capturing data. All right. That is in the area of T&D, attrition, recruitment, and performance management. Now, most of you know Pivot. It's a, can you just show me the database, employee database? Okay, so this is what you all have. If you see, you have an employee database, you have an attrition database, you have a T&D database. Now and you also have operational analytics, what you need to do. So what I want you all to do, if you can just go to open the T&D database. Can you just open the T&D database? Yep. This is your T&D database. So what you will be required to do is use a pivot. Very easy to do because a lot of you know pivot, and I will be actually coming into the groups and helping you with the pivot. And you will need to do that operation analytics using the pivot. And also in the pivot, you have charts. Very easy to do that. So I would like you to start doing first T&D database. Okay, just attempt the T&D and the attrition. Okay, guys, yes, no? You will be put into, how many of you are there? Vilma, how many are there?
3 groups.
3 groups, great. Okay, at least one in each group who knows the pivot, and I will also go around to see that. Okay, let me find out from the participants before they go what they need to do. They should not be attempting the predictive analytics because I haven't taught them. They should be only looking at the operational analytics. Clear, guys? Yes, okay. So the time limit is 20 minutes, and all of you will have to actually then present whatever you have done. So ensure that you complete this task.
What
Yes,
do we need
Shushma,
to,
Devendra, yeah.
what is the outcome? What are we going to do with this? Because it's already a sheet is available. So from pivot,
No, no,
what
no.
are we
So
doing
it
to
is
pivot?
available, but I don't want you to look at the sheet. I just gave you that sheet. Don't look at the sheet at all. This is a sheet which has only databases. Have you seen?
Yeah, it's there. The
That
database
sheet
is
is
there.
only to keep it for you. Don't even touch it.
No, no. Which sheet? There are two sheets, na? Just for
There
the
are two
sake of
sheets.
clarity.
Now, this sheet which is being shown, it does not have the work done, what you need to do, the operational analytics, which is capturing the data and also then converting it into charts.
So you
Got it?
mean to say
Huh?
the other sheet is having the answers or the charts
Yes,
also
yes,
available?
yes, we have done it, but don't see it. Don't,
I
because
got
when
your
you go
point.
back
I got your point. To
and get
prepare
a
it.
ready reference, don't do
Yeah,
it. Don't look at
yeah.
it. Okay? So this has only the database, but it also has what you need to do. Got it? Okay?
Are there questions given there that from pivot, what
Yeah,
are we
yeah.
going to get?
See if in the data, in the same sheet, who is showing the sheet, if you can actually, yeah. Okay, once you get, in the same sheet, there are those questions. Vilma, are you, who is showing this? Yeah, these are the questions. Don't attempt whatever is there in the D. I want you to look at these. Otherwise, can you see the questions?
Yes, yes, yes.
Huh?
So
Okay, and don't
training
touch
cost
the
and
other
man
sheet.
hours per month we have to identify from by
Yeah,
putting the
yeah.
view.
These are the
I mean
questions
pivot.
for your TND database. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
These are the questions for your, so you are trying to show to your management that, hey, what is the training cost? Okay, you have the data, because if you are a training manager, you will have that employee database. So how are
Yeah.
you going to capture the data, visualize the data, create charts, and then show it to your management? Got it?
Yes.
Okay, guys. So Vilma, can you just put them into 3 rooms with one person who knows the pivot also? That's important.
5 of them already know
Guys,
it.
any clarification? Any clarification? Huh?
So, ma'am, we are doing this activity only for a TND database, right?
No, no. You are doing it for TND, attrition, recruitment, performance management.
Okay. Also.
Okay. All 1, 2, 3, 4. And you have separate databases for all of them. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Hush.
Yeah. Anil's group, Anil Richarya. Would you like, who is presenting in this group? Quick, quick.
So the whole exercise was done by Banker, so I think he can lead.
Yeah. Can you just show me your work?
Banker, can you please help with, sharing your screen? Over there.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm here. Good.
Nirmala, actually, we could able on training part as well as on attrition. So presently,
Yeah.
training pivot and the
Yes. Good. Yeah. Training data and training cost. Okay. All right.
yeah, so
Then the next one.
so then with the attrition actually
Mode.
attrition chart we were
Okay.
not able to do.
Okay.
So this is the attrition which
You
we
are not able to do the graphs for these?
yeah we were actually not able to do the graphs because I'm not
Okay.
familiar with the graphs, that is the reason. And
Okay.
it's the pivot for all this.
Okay. But graphs are also not a
Yeah,
huge
understood.
challenge. You can
Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Okay. Good job done. And what about attrition?
Attrition it is here.
Male, female, grand total. Okay.
So
All
better.
right. Okay. Non-regrettable, regrettable, grand total. Okay. Okay. All right. Good job done, guys. Okay. Okay. Very good job done. In a very short time, you managed to do everything. Okay. Great. Okay. Can I have the other group also?
Thanks to banker, ma'am, we were just observing and learning.
Oh, oh, Venkat has joined? Okay.
Yeah, I was here from all.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah. So when you go back, I would like all of you to also look at the graphs in your solution. There's another data, same data set with the solution. Okay. It will be helpful. Yeah. Can I have the other group?
Yes, ma'am, I'll present my screen.
Yeah, Shushma. Great.
So we have done
Very good.
training
Good.
cost and man hours per
Good.
month,
Good.
total trainings per month
Yeah,
by
yeah,
category.
just go down. I want you to show that no, just come down. Training cost and man hours. No, that first one. As regards here, the total of man hours. Like for example, on the other side is your cost, right? So you can actually have a line for the
Graph.
cost. You can actually have a line chart for the cost as well. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Let's go to it. Behavioral, technical, grand total. Okay, yeah. So you could use this way also, or in the same half the portion you can show as behavioral, and another one you can show technical. I mean, ways of doing it. Okay, good job. Very nice.
This is external trainings percentage of total trainings.
Okay, very good. Very good.
So then we did attrition. Attrition by unit and gender. We've given percentages because typically attrition is calculated as a percentage.
Yep, very nice.
So we've done that.
Excellent. Good job. Very good job done.
And then attrition by department and type of loss. So there's departments and regrettable, non-regrettable type of loss.
Okay, very good. Good.
And then reason for leaving and average tenure. Sorry, in this I didn't put a graph, but
okay. Also, let me tell you, when you are doing it, you can also use the slicer. In fact, in the session 5, the trainer will help you to even teach you the slicer. It's very easy. Some of you who know how to use the pivot table, and you can also use the slicer. There's a slicer which gives you a visual representation, right? Do you know about the slicer? Yeah?
No, ma'am.
In the pivot, huh? Slicer. Okay. I'll just show you here. Can you see? Insert slicer.
I think my screen is being shared.
Can you see? Under automate, you can see insert slicer.
Here, yeah.
You have to share your screen first.
This one. No, in my screen you can see here. See? In pivot table analyze, there is an insert slicer.
Once your pivot table comes up, insert slicer. Just click on that. On any, if you do this, say for example, then you can insert a slicer. For example, if you're using it for your average tenure and row label, that one, then you can use a slicer and also show it as a visual representation. Okay?
Like this.
It becomes dynamic. Got it?
Yeah.
You can select and you can put a filter as well. Okay? So in session 5, you will get to know more of this, all the visual tricks of how to create, etc. Okay. Good job done, guys. Very good job. In a short
only
time, I
till
think
here
you will
we've
manage.
come, ma'am. The type of recruitment and number of people.
Count of okay.
Yeah, position
For
recruitment
every mode of recruitment, how many numbers you all have done? Good.
Yeah.
Very nice. Great. Okay, welcome back, guys. So if you actually see what we did just before the break, break, we all did operation analytics using the pivot table, and then we also converted them into graphs like this, into bar charts, etc. Right? So we could do that. Now let me actually take you to one. We won't do correlation now. Benchmarking. Benchmarking. The word benchmarking is very, very common, familiar to all of us, especially in the HR department, because we seem to be somehow the custodians of benchmarking of HR practices. When we say benchmarking, what does it mean? Anybody? Quick, yeah. The word is very, very
It
common.
is a
Standardize.
standard.
Yeah,
It's a
standards of the industry.
competition, your similar peers, and see where you stand.
Creating bars
Right.
for various parameters.
Yeah, so you want to improve. It could be a practice, it could be your product, it could be a service. So you are wanting to improve and benchmark it with the best. Like say, for example, sometimes we say, hey, we want to pay, we want to benchmark our salary with our competitors, right? Very common, no? We want to see where we
Yes, yes,
are, or we want to see, so that we can pay similar salaries. Or we'll say, hey, we want to ensure that we also have the best recruitment practices, just as our competitors, so that we can hire very good talent. So it's very simple. So that means it involves what? So when we want to benchmark, what is that very important thing? What do I want to benchmark? That's important, no? I can't be vague. Is it a process? Is it a product? Like, for example, I want to benchmark my customer satisfaction process, maybe, or I want to benchmark my performance management process. How is it working for others? The best practices I want to bring in. So, what is that you really want to benchmark? So, whenever you choose to benchmark, will you just choose everything? You want to choose something which gives you of high value also. And then, with whom would you like to benchmark? Now, say what is that term? The great, all of us, we take part in this surveys, employee satisfaction, and we want to be the in the HR. What are those surveys? I just forgot. Uh, the best in the industry, we take, right? We want so that you become a better, we can do better employer branding, etc. So when we look at our employee satisfaction indexes, initially we want to do benchmarking only with our internal data, like vis-a-vis last year, how are we? But then thereafter, we want to do some kind of at a national level, hey, where are we? Or with our best competitors, or with the best in the industry. So it depends with whom do I want to benchmark. And then look at what kind of a trend. So typically the process goes like this. It's a very simple process. What to benchmark? Then I want to understand the current performance of that, what I need to benchmark. Then what will I do? I'll do an action plan for it, study the other benchmark practice, and then learn from the data and use the findings. So in HR analytics, I was just about to give you a small example, very interesting example. Typically, all of you do this, what I call it as market benchmarking, no? You heard of market benchmarking, right? Salary benchmarking. Have you heard of salary benchmarking? So when we do salary benchmarking, what is that we do? We are saying, hey, say for example, Anil is in what company? I forget his company's name. Which company are you working, Anil?
It is Brahma Corp.
Yeah, Brahma Corp. So you will say, hey, I as an HR head, where is my salary? Pitch, what is the salary vis-a-vis the competition, or vis-a-vis what it is in the market? I want to benchmark. So typically, how will I do? There is an analytical process here. Very simple. Say, for example, all of you can see this data. Can you see now? Can you see now? I'll explain this data. Now, these are maybe 9 companies: Wipro, TCS, Infosys, iGateway, Bristol, and all of these are IT companies. Okay. These are all IT companies. Now, I have actually taken data from these companies for 3 positions. They're called pay grade 1, pay grade 2, and pay grade 3. Got it? Pay grade 1 is the software engineer with 0 to 1 year. Pay grade 2 is 1 to 3 years, and pay grade 3 is 3 to 5. Okay. Now, this is my company, current annual pay. This is my company. If Anil is working in Brahma Corp, you can think that this is his company. You can identify this current annual pay as your company and say similar jobs of grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. What are you paying? 3,60,000, and grade 2, 6,20,000, and grade 3, 8,20,000. Now, I want to benchmark and say, vis-a-vis, these are the companies who are my competitors or my peer companies, from where I can get talent, they can get talent, etc. Similar products and services. Got it? Now, I want to know, vis-a-vis their salaries, where do I stand? Now, typically, there is a measure which you talked about when you are talking about salary with regard to salary. That's called, when I'm benchmarking my salary, it's called market percentile. Have you heard of this market percentile? Yes, no? Hey, at least no.
ma'am,
Okay.
I haven't.
You haven't? Okay. What is market percentile means? Say, for example, Brahma Corp, Anil Richaria, who is the HR head, is paying, HR head is being paid at 75th percentile. 75th percentile of the market. Okay. You are being paid at the 75th percentile of the market. What does it mean? That, his salary, if you look at, 100 companies, so 25 companies are paying more than his salary, and 75 companies are paying less than his salary. Got it? Now, how do you do this? How do you get, when you look at this data, now how do you convert this into 75th percentile or a 50th percentile? What is 50th percentile? Typically, when I say 50th percentile,
50 companies are paying more than
yeah, but
that,
typically
and
it is,
49
if you recall, if you go and do a
median.
negotiation, median, they will say, hey, we will pay a median salary. Okay? Typically. So, how will you do it? Very interestingly, first of all, what I will do now, I will say, hey, for this grade 1, so I will go to formula. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Insert function. Okay. Then I will ask for what? Can you see here? Percentile. Then I will say, okay. So what is it asking? Let me pull this window. What is it asking? Can you see? Array. Okay. So it's saying array. So array, I'm looking at grade 1. Now, first of all, I have to put this into a okay. Now, if I want to know what is the value of 75th percentile, 0.75. So 50th, no, this is 75th percentile. So at a 75th percentile, what is the salary? The same data has been now put into what? 4 quartiles. Into 4. What does quartiles mean? So if I take, say for example, the first quartile will be 25, then
50,
50,
75, 100.
75, then 100. So this is the first quartile. This is the second quartile. This is third quartile. And this is the fourth quartile. Most companies will pay between 50 and 75th percentile. Okay. Now, what am I paying? I'm paying 3,60,000. Now, I want to know whether I'm benchmarking. I want to know whether what I'm paying is at what percentile of the market. Anybody who can tell me how will you do? Huh? Guys, tell me how will you do? Any idea? Simple. So use your, again, I'll put a formula, insert function. So percent rank, so that you are able to say, okay. That's it. Insert function. Now take the next one. Okay. Now you want to look at the percentile, say a 90th percentile. So 90th will be 0.90. Okay. Where did the data go? So at a 90th percentile, how much is the salary? 5,05,000. Okay. So this is how what is it? When you are benchmarking salary data, this is how you do. So I will be giving you an exercise for you to do at home. I hope you have understood.
just a
Any
bit
questions in this?
just a
Pardon?
bit just a bit confused about the working. Now, can you do one example again?
Okay, let me once. Okay, can you see my screen, guys?
Yes, it's clear.
Yes.
Yes.
Huh? Okay. All right. So this will be very useful for you all, because salary benchmarking is something, you should understand even as an HR VP or a talent acquisition, because when you're doing talent acquisition, you'll be benchmarking your salary data so that you are able to hire every position at the right kind of a salary. So you should be knowing your job's salaries vis-a-vis the market, at what percentile are they. Okay. Say for example, I'm a startup company. Okay. I'm a startup company, software startup company, and I want to hire software developers. Okay. I want to hire software developers at an entry level. At an entry level. Now, I don't know what salary I have to pay. So typically, what do I do when I want to pay? I will look at what are the other companies who are doing the same business. What are they paying? Am I right? That's what you will do, no? If I
Yes.
don't know how much to
Right.
pay, so I will typically, say for example, A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, Q. All these are software companies who are into the same business as what I want to start. Correct? And they are also recruiting software developers with similar skill sets. So what will I do then? I will actually then collect market data from these companies as to what are they paying to the software developers per month. Till here, you have understood? Everybody? Huh? Yes? So A company pays 22,000 rupees per month. B likewise 17. So this is the range of data and this is the salary per month for a software developer being paid by these companies. Till here we are good? Are we good till here? Hey guys.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, yes.
So
Got it.
now you tell me, anybody, because all of you, some of you are HR heads and HR ops person. So as a software developer company, I am saying I want to pay at a 90th percentile of the market. What? I want to pay at a 90th percentile of the market. Got it? Now you tell me how will you do? I told you a little about it. What will you do using Excel?
Nirmala, this percent rank I want to just explore with you.
I will
How
explore
you
that also. I'll just tell you both percent rank and percentile. Okay?
okay.
So
Huh.
we'll collect the data from the similar company who are positioned similar and create job grades. I mean, for the grades.
I gave you a question. What should I pay? I want to pay at a 90th percentile. My question to you is, what should be the salary of the software developer at an entry level?
Okay.
What should I pay? And this
20
is the data. I've also given you data. I'm also saying I want
23,400.
Huh?
Over here it looks 23,400.
That is already there. That's why you are saying, no? Tell me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh? Okay. Simple. So I'll tell you how to do. Okay. Formula. Insert function. So what will you look at now?
Percentile.
Percentile. Okay. Array. What will you take?
From there till 19,000 Q.
Column C.
Huh?
Yeah.
Got it? I took
Yep.
C6 to C19. Now K. So what
90.
will K be?
0.9.
I'm saying
0.9.
90. So
0.9,
0.90.
0.9.
9. Okay. Got it?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Now I am paying, okay. Say I'm paying 25,000. So I want to know what is the percentile I'm paying. Then what will
Percent
you
rank.
do? Yep. Okay. Hmm?
Yeah.
Rank percent.
Right, got it.
Choose the same array.
Hmm?
One more down. Yeah.
And
X equal to 25,000.
X should be
What is
25,000.
X?
The amount that we are paying.
2500.
Zero,
Yeah.
zero.
Got it?
One more zero.
Huh?
Triple
One more
zero.
zero.
One more zero.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. 1 second. Done?
What is the significance?
Significance typically 0.93 is okay. So,
Yeah.
We don't have to fill that significance thing mandatorily.
no.
No,
We'll
no.
leave it
So
blank.
what is that percent rank now?
93 percentile.
93 percentile.
93 percentile. So typically if I say percent rank here, which is the highest salary? So
34,000.
percent rank is nothing but 1 to what? 0.
34,000 and 14,000.
See 1 to 0. So 0 represents the least salary. That's a minimum. And
Okay.
1 is 34,000. So this software developer, the range is between 14,000 to 34,000.
34,000.
Are you all with me, guys? Are you all with
Yes,
me?
Yes, ma'am.
yes.
Huh?
So percentage
Okay.
rank, what exactly shows that
What exactly shows? It shows you, it divides you into decimals, like from 1 to 0 to 1.
Okay.
Okay.
Fine.
So till now we were doing only one variable and just visually showing all that operational. So now when we go to the next level, which is called predictive, that means you want to predict. Till now we were just showing data as it is. Now we want to say, hey, what happened? Why did it happen? Can I predict something? So you are using two statistical techniques called correlation and regression. So I will just introduce you to correlation. So when we talk about correlation, typically, say for example, you are seeing this graph. So this is one variable. Annotate. कहाँ गया? Okay. So, say for example, this is height, GIGST, height, and this is weight. So, if there are two variables like height and weight, okay, as the height increases, my weight is also increasing. So, you can see that that there is a relation between the height and the weight, right? Correlate. That means if you look at the data, so as one increasing,
Okay.
even the other is increasing. So by actually plotting a trend line, you can make out whether this trend line is straight or it's going up. So that is called, is there a relation between two variables? Just two variables. I didn't say anything about dependent into nothing. I'm just saying two variables. What are those two variables here? Height and weight. Two variables data. And can you see that as the variable weight is increasing, there is also an increase in the height as well. So that is what is called correlation. Now, this can be also measured. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So when I say correlation, that means what kind of a relationship exists between these two variables. Okay. And the other day also I talked about. So when we talk about correlation, the measure is called what? Correlation coefficient. Correlation coefficient. Correlation coefficient. CO. Okay. And what is the measure? The measure is from minus 1 to plus 1. Minus 1 to plus 1. Now you might see that let me just show you. Say for example, what can you see here? That the data is going up, right? Huh? So if you have say R is equal to plus 1, that means it's a perfect correlation. Okay? Say for example, if it is a minus 1, it's a perfect negative correlation. Can you give me examples of negative correlation in nature? The more you do pulse, skip, etc., the number, your reduction of grievances will go down, right? You don't want both of them to keep going up, no? The goal is what? To reduce your grievances, no? The more you do engagement, the more you do, all those skip level, pulse, everything, engagement activities, you want to reduce the number of what? Grievances. The more you do training, etc., the reduction of what? Errors. Any other example, guys?
Maybe a correlation between job satisfaction and days of absence.
Job satisfaction and
Days of absence, absenteeism.
absenteeism. Then it will be like no positive probably
It will be a
because
negative correlation, though, ma'am. As your job satisfaction increases, then your the number of days that you
reduces.
will
Okay, I
reduce.
heard it something. Yeah, absolutely. I give it to you, Sushma. Absolutely. So let us just look at it. So obviously this is positive, this is negative. And when your data is like this, is there correlation? No correlation. Okay? Yeah. So -1 to +1. Very important because when you will do it, then you will have to say, is it strong negative correlation or strong positive or just positive correlation or just negative, and anything between 0.0 to 0.1 or 0.1 or 0.2 is very weak. It's not insignificant. Okay. Why is it important? Because if you want to make some kind of an draw insights or interpretations, then this measure will help you to say, hey, if it is a strong correlation, that means there exists a relationship. I will just show you some data. I'll work on data and show you. Okay, 1 second. I'll stop sharing this. Can you see this? Can you see my sheet?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let me. Now, we won't take. Why is it? Okay, let's go right up. Okay. Okay. Now I will just take, say for example, just to give you a little insight, because we will. Let me do age and salary. Okay. We'll do a simple one first. Can you see data? Age of employees, huh? All right. And this is annual salary. Now I want to see whether there exists a relationship between these two variables. That is, if the age keeps going up, does the salary go up? All right. So to check if there is any relationship, what do I need to do? I need to do correlation. And I'm sure some of you must have done. So how do I go about doing correlation? Let's go to formula. Correct?
Formula.
Insert
Insert
function.
function.
Then
Correl.
use something called a
Correl.
choral function. Okay. Then say, okay.
Okay.
Now, what is it asking for? It is
Array.
not asking for any XY arrays. It's saying array 1, array 2. Now you can choose any array 1 as 1 and array 2. So I'm going here. Right.
Array 1 as a age.
Right. Just check your B. Now, array 2.
Salary.
All right. Then, okay. So what is the figure? What is the correlation?
0.57.
Very good. I was just waiting somebody, you can round it up. Somebody said 0.57. Huh? That's the difference between precision, HR, non-HR, photo engineer. So it's very important to put 0.57. Now, when I say 0.57, I showed you that measure -1 to +1. So where does it go? Does it have strong correlation or does it have just positive correlation?
It just shows
A
positive, I
fair
think.
bit of
Yeah.
positive
So
correlation.
anything more than 0.5 is a fairly, it's showing a good amount of correlation. Now you can do it visually also, because the graphical representation will, I mean, you can actually make out much easier way. How will you do? How will you do?
Select and insert the graphs.
Okay.
And go to the insert.
Now, where will you go?
Insert
Then,
chart. Correlation
then,
chart. Then
okay. I'll make
scatter.
it little bigger. I'll make it little bigger. Huh? इसको बड़ा कर देंगे. All right. Now, what will I do? I want to now we were talking about trend line. I want to see a trend line, a linear trend line. How will you do? Click on any of that.
Mhm.
Right click. Can you see add a trend line?
Yes, yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if you
That's it.
actually see, can you see this? There are options. Maybe in the next class, I'll show you when do you use exponential and all, because when we do regression, but now you can use just a linear trend line. Can you see the trend line? So how is it going? It's going. Can you see there's a trend going up, no? The trend line. So that means there exists a correlation. There exists a relationship between the age and the annual salary. But it won't be general. This relationship is exhibited by this data only. Got it? This data. Let us do one more, so that now you guide me and I can do it. Just let me just. Okay, this we'll do afterwards. Okay, so how will you go about doing?
For the correlation,
Yeah.
we'll select the data first, then insert.
We'll put the
No,
formula
first
and
you
then
have to
give the range.
calculate, no? Huh?
Acha.
First
Yes,
you need
first
to
we'll have to
calculate,
put the
right?
formula and
Correct.
give the range.
Formula, insert function, Cordal, okay,
Yeah.
Correl.
array 1,
Array 1 is
Array 1.
revenue.
okay. Then okay. What is the correlation?
0.73.
Yeah. So should we look at this chart as
Positive.
well? No? Yeah. So let us look at the chart then, huh? It's always interesting to see the how is the scattergram. What will I do now? Insert.
Insert chart scatter graph.
Okay. And
Right.
to get a trend line,
Right
what will I do?
click. Right click, add trend line.
A trend line. In fact, because it's a lot of data, I can just click. So there is a correlation because you can see the trend line going up. As this data is going up, the other data is also going up. So you can see. In fact, 1 second. When you add a trend line, you get display equation. And I won't make it complicated for you guys. Okay. Now I'm going to close this. Sorry. 1 second. I have given you a data sheet. We're doing this or this. 1 second. Take away. Yeah, I have given you a data sheet wherein there's a lot of data on correlation. That means there's a varied tests, and you have to find out by doing which tests that the performance of a person goes up. Okay. Like for example, in my first session, I talked about Google. They did a lot of analysis of their interviewing processes, and they found that the you know the ability to take initiative. They found that if a person had the initiative, he was found to be a better performer. All right. So they did a lot of correlation exercises. Likewise, I showed you a bad interviewer and a good interviewer. So you can also do correlation exercises to find out the interview rating, correlation between performance rating and interview rating, and find out who is a better interviewer and who is a poor interviewer. Likewise, I have given you correlation data. If you actually look into your Excel sheet, correct? You have to find out which is that competency for which, you have better performance. That means you have to actually calculate the correlation for all that. It's a massive one single piece, but there's a lot of calculation. And find out, let me see if I can get that. Where is it gone actually? Data. Yeah. Desktop. Yeah, I'll show you that. Sorry. Yeah, I got. Okay. All right. Yeah, I got that sheet. 1 second. I'm showing that sheet. Okay. All right. So all of you have got this sheet. Now you have to go do only this one, correlation. Okay. Can you see this? Now you have to do this. What is this all about? There are participants who are A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. They have been all assessed in these functional skills, and the rating is given. Okay. Competitors, and knowledge, visioning, everything. The rating is given, and the performance rating is also given. Now you need to find out which is that skill amongst 1 to 25, which has the highest correlation and has an impact with the performance. The first two or
They've
three.
been rated out of 5.
So how will you do? Tell me, first of all. Anybody? Devendra? Any idea? Sushma?
It will be happen in a similar way what we did earlier as well, right? In the
Right. So
process,
one
we'll
array.
go.
Right. He is correct. So I mean, we'll have to just consider which array to put where.
One thing. I'll just explain, otherwise what will happen is you won't be able to do. Okay. So you have to do the correlation for, I'll just do one and show you. Okay. You have to do correlation. For example, you have to take the scores for competitor and trend knowledge for all A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N. Okay? And you have to take the performance data. You have to do a correlation. That means, is there a relationship between the test scores for competitor trend knowledge and the performance scores? Got it? All of you? So you want me to do it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. So what do you do now? Formula?
Formula.
Tell me.
Insert
Insert function.
Insert
Correl.
function, correl,
Okay.
Select
Okay.
array.
array
Array
1,
1 and array
array
2.
1.
Now let me just pull
Yes.
this down a little. Okay. Now your array 1 will be okay. Your array 2 will be this is your performance data. You are seeing if there's any relationship between. Yeah, correct.
How it comes, ma'am?
Pardon?
How it comes like in array 1, we have taken only column column 1, like you can say A, B, C, D, A to O, we have taken a array 1, and then
Yeah,
we are
why did you
taking
take it?
a
So
performance.
this
We
why
have
did you take it? These are the test scores for all these people A, B, C, D, F, G, H till O on what? On
so so ma'am,
competitor and
it's
trend knowledge.
yeah. So
What is
it
the
is
question? Yeah.
it is a competitor and trend knowledge. That is
Mm.
we in like in Corel formula we are taking array 1 and array 2 is we are taking overall performance. Once we again go for the similar kind of things to find out the visioning, then again we will take a array 1 2.2 to like 1.5, and then again we will take a array 2 as a, like similar performance.
Exactly. Now, see, the question is now this competitor trend knowledge visioning business drivers accepts otherwise creates. I'll give you another example. I'm hiring a candidate. Okay. Now I'm actually putting through 3 or 4 assessment tests for a sales guy. Listening, then communication skills, then presentation skills, another one more. Now, I want to actually know, hey, I'm doing all this, but I actually want to know which is that competency which actually, or which is that 1 or 2 competencies which impact the sales performance. Got it? So what will I do? My sales performance, I'll take a control sample. Some very high performers, I will take low performers. Okay, so performance data is there for me. Got it? Now, I will also take scores of what? Listening tests. So I will do correlation, performance, listening. Correlation, performance, presentation skills. Correlation, performance, communication skills.
So
And
what?
then I will say, which is that test which has higher correlation, which has an impact on sales performance.
Okay.
Got it?
So yeah. So my understanding is if A having an overall performance is 4, and for the overall performance, there's a number of things he did, like in a competition and trend visioning,
No.
business
So here,
drivers planning.
no. Question here is, I have competitor visioning, business drivers. I'm testing them in acceptance of others' views. Maybe a performance management. I'm looking at all this. But I really want to know which are those 3 or 4 things which will actually impact his performance. Got it? So
Fine.
I've taken a sample. I've got all the test scores for all of these. And then I'm looking at which of these functional skills has the higher, or which which of those 1, 2, 3 or 3 or 4 which have a higher correlation, which impact the performance. Are you with me, guys? Please be free, and I want you all to be very clear on this. Are you with me? I mean, the usage of correlation, how effective it is.
So, I mean, just to sum up, as a part of this assessment or exercise, what we'll do is we'll build a correlation of all these factors with respect to performance.
So you will have
individually.
correlation.
And
You
then,
will have correlation for all of this. 1, 2, 3, 4,
yes,
5, all of this. Okay.
right, all
Then
factors
you
with
will pick
respect
up
to
the
performance,
first
and then
3 or 4 highest.
Right,
Which
Ma'am,
will have
but if we have to see how is a combination of factors affecting performance, how do we do that? Like here it is
What is it?
individual.
Come again, I couldn't hear you.
Just move to a little bit to the left, ma'am.
multi
No, no,
correlation.
the
Yeah,
first
yeah, tell
column,
me.
column A. In this,
Yeah.
like for example, this is all individual, like competitor and trend knowledge, visioning, business, they're all separate. Like if I
Right.
have to see, you know, a combination of this, like takes ownership plus articulates thoughts clearly, like is there a way to do that? Like a combination
No,
of these
instead of
characteristics. Now
no,
where
no,
I'm
see,
coming from is, where I'm coming
tell
from
me.
is this, I will use these as matrices to identify key traits in talent acquisition.
Right. You one uses in talent acquisition. For
Correct.
example, if I'm hiring for four competencies, now actually, are those 4 equally important or critical in impacting performance, or I'm just assessing them, but they have no bearing on the performance? So how will I
So
do?
if
I'll
I
have
have
to
to
take a
say, I
sample.
have to select if I have to say a combination, then basically what we are saying is from -1 to +1, I will decide anything of a correlation more than 0.6 is my good to hire. And accordingly, those traits I will check, right?
Yeah. You have to look at it because obviously there's no correlation at all, like 0.12, anywhere between 0.45. I would say no correlation. I mean, you should not be taking that.
So in the
Anything
example that
above,
we just did, then in the example that we just did, the first one had a 0.243 correlation, which means it's almost negligible because it's not
negligible.
much of a
Absolutely.
positive correlation.
0.24 is negligible.
Correct. Okay, understood, ma'am. Understood.
So you have to do correlations for all this and then look at which are their correlations which are higher than at least 0.4 or 0.5, higher than that. Okay. In fact, I would like you to list for the next, this is one of the assignment, list which are those top 3 functional skills you would consider. Okay. Based on the correlation results which impact performance. That's the question. Okay. All right, guys. So any questions with this? I think we will close. What's the time?
1:20.
Okay, no problem. So next, tomorrow is a little more, we do regression, which is very interesting and little more complex, but don't worry. I mean, I'm sure all of you will cope with it. Very interesting regression. And we will do a couple of exercises on that. Okay. Which is much more effective predictive tool. Okay, guys, take care. And I hope you have a good weekend.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you. Take care. Take care. I hope you guys are going back with
Thank you, ma'am.
absolute clarity about the exercise, what you have to do.
We are going to do some of the exercises. We'll take it as a homework. We're going to do a little more, so that will bring complete clarity. For now, it looks good, but we have to do a couple of more exercises, maybe with the same data. So we'll do that.
Yeah, you will do it. Practice is the only way by which you can do it. Okay. All right. Take care. Bye. Bye.